In a move that has sparked widespread controversy and raised serious questions about the politicization of justice, former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted just days after former President Donald Trump publicly demanded that the Department of Justice act now to prosecute his political adversaries. This stunning development comes amid escalating tensions and accusations of retribution, leading many to wonder, is this a legitimate pursuit of justice or a politically motivated attack? But here's where it gets even more contentious. On Thursday, Comey faced charges of making false statements and obstruction of justice related to his 2020 testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee. These charges emerged mere days after Trump's public call for the DOJ to prosecute Comey and other perceived enemies. Comey is scheduled to appear for arraignment on October 9th, and in a heartfelt video posted to Instagram, he declared, "My heart is broken for the Department of Justice. I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I am innocent. Let's have a trial and keep the faith." The indictment centers on Comey's congressional testimony regarding the FBI's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Court records reveal that while a grand jury declined to charge him with an additional count of making false statements, he still faces serious allegations. If convicted, Comey could face up to 5 years in prison, though federal sentences often fall below the maximum penalty. And this is the part most people miss. The timing and circumstances of this indictment have fueled accusations of political interference. Attorney General Pamela Bondi stated, "No one is above the law," emphasizing the DOJ's commitment to holding those in power accountable. However, critics argue that the appointment of Lindsey Halligan, a White House aide and Trump's former defense attorney with no prosecutorial experience, to lead the Eastern District of Virginia's office, raises red flags. Halligan reportedly pursued the indictment despite federal prosecutors' inability to establish probable cause, a move that has sparked ethical concerns. Comey's son-in-law, Troy Edwards Jr., a national security prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, resigned following the indictment, further complicating the narrative. This comes after Trump ousted U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, who had expressed doubts about prosecuting Comey, and replaced him with Halligan to get things moving. Here's the controversial question. Is this a legitimate legal process or a politically driven vendetta? Comey, who was fired by Trump during his first term over the Russian investigation, has been a vocal critic of Trump's efforts to politicize the justice system. His defense is likely to hinge on this argument, setting the stage for a high-stakes trial that could test the integrity of both the DOJ and the federal judiciary. Trump's social media posts over the weekend only added fuel to the fire, praising Bondi and Halligan for their efforts to get things moving on what he called a great case. Meanwhile, Comey's attorney, Patrick J. Fitzgerald, stated, "Jim Comey denies the charges filed today in their entirety. We look forward to vindicating him in the courtroom." This case marks the most dramatic escalation yet in what critics describe as Trump's campaign of retribution against those he believes have wronged him. The investigation into Comey began in early August, following Trump's renewed calls for prosecutions related to the 2016 election. It was prompted by the discovery of sensitive documents at FBI headquarters, which led investigators to scrutinize Comey's 2020 testimony for potential perjury or obstruction. Prosecutors specifically examined Comey's statements about Hillary Clinton's alleged involvement in linking Trump to Russia, and whether he authorized leaks to the media. As this case unfolds, it raises critical questions about the independence of the justice system and the potential consequences of politicizing legal proceedings. What do you think? Is this a fair prosecution or a politically motivated attack? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.